It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, North Central Netball. Let's have a look at what's going on there at the moment. Obviously no action on the court, but plenty being talked about off of it. It's been a big season up till this point, and rather than speak with Susan again, who is frantically working behind the scenes at the moment along with her wonderful committee to try and sort out what the possible scenarios might be if we can return to action, we thought we'd have a look at some of the clubs and how their seasons have gone, and we're going to start with Wedderburn, and who better to speak to than the A-grade coach there, Meg Lowry, who joins me on the line right now. Meg, welcome to the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.
Thanks for having me, Jason. It's great to talk to you.
Great to have you on the program, and Susan, of course, for those who don't know, and everyone across North Central will know your connection to Susan. I mean, you basically are doing what Mum told you to do, right?
Yeah, she wrote me into didn't see it coming, but here I am, and she'll have to pay the price later, I think.
In terms of the season itself, let's turn our attention back to the Wedderburn Netball Club. Your seniors couldn't have gone any better through the A, B and C grades. I mean, top two in all three senior grades this year in North Central Netball. As senior coach, you'd have to be delighted with that.
Oh, absolutely. We are delighted. We've got an awesome group of girls this year. So to finish top two was pretty awesome. We did have to work pretty hard for it across our B and C, but they got there. Our C grade were a really new team this year with lots of newbies. So they came good at the end of the season to sneak into that top two, which is a good place to finish. Would be nice if we could try and finish it off, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Well, fingers crossed we get back to action, and I know that that's being discussed. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But through the A grade at the moment, of course, undefeated heading into finals time. I mean, it's always great to be flying along before you get to finals. But is it nerve-wracking being undefeated heading into a finals series? Some love it, some kind of get a little bit superstitious about it. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I think it's a good position to be in. I think, you can beat the teams that you come across in finals since you have in the season. That places a bit of extra pressure on there, but the girls have shown in the past that we're up for pressure and have pulled it off before. So we'd like to think it was a good thing going into finals. Exactly,
and well, that's a good point. When it comes to the Wedderburn Netball Club, this is no stranger to this situation. I mean, last year no netball, of course, but in 2019 and beyond that, you guys always thereabouts at the pointy end of the season. I think you guys won back in 2019. Is that right?
Yeah, we did. We had a win there, and we have a couple of players that are still playing with us this year, in Shelley DeRouge, Madison Postle, and Emma Lockhart. So they're no stranger to a grand final.
So the squad itself, you just mentioned three of them there, but have you got some youngsters coming through? Is it a fairly experienced squad? What's the look of it like?
Oh, I'm one of the oldest, and I don't like to think that I'm old. But I think that's a bit of a sign that we've got a really young team. We've got a couple of twins who are doing year 11 this year, Olivia and Eliza Lockhart. And they've come up from the junior ranks and have been really dominant, massive parts of our team at goal attack and wing defence this year. Yeah, they're part of a bit of a sister crew that we've got. Grace Lockhart is their older sister, who's an awesome goalie attacker, and their older sister, Emma, who plays at wing attack and is a little speedy player on the court.
So the Lockhart connection there for Wedderburn Netball Club is pretty thick and fast, as we just heard, and very talented as well, shall we say?
Yeah, no, they're great girls. Very much talented, athletic, pretty fast, and awesome coordination. I suppose all the good things you need for netball. They're pretty sharp shooters, a couple of them. And their mum, Sharon, still plays. And she's been an awesome coach, contributor, etc. of Wedderburn Netball and Redbacks. So, yeah, it's been a pretty special year playing amongst them and a bit of fun for them as well.
The B grade competition now, how does your coaching structure work? Do you look after the B grade as well? Have you got a separate B grade coach? How does that work?
Funny you ask. I've got the B grade, but I've got an awesome group of girls that are pretty experienced in themselves and good talkers that I feel like I offer the back seat if they are, you know what I mean? I take the role of the title, but I'm not sure that I'm the one that's driving it all, but it's good to be a part of, and they're just a bunch of awesome girls.
Yeah, and the C grade, what's the structure like there? These are girls, obviously, that have probably been around the club for a while. Is that fair to say?
Well, a bit of a mix, really. I'd say our B grade's our team that have been around the club for a long time, and that you've got your Susie and Sharon Lockhart, you've got your Sarah Turnbull, Tara Wingfield, to name a few. And then Georgia Fry is a returning netballer to Wedderburn who coaches the C grade and plays in the B grade. And she has had the tricky job, I guess, this year of trying to manage a lot of girls in that C grade team, full of youngsters, locals like Emily Glenister and Kelsey Nesbitt and Lani Jackson, and then mixing in with a few recruits, a few partners of footballers, and, a few locals as well. So she's done an awesome job.
Now, in terms of the juniors, Meg, Wedderburn's a smaller town in north central netball's region, and we know traditionally that the bigger centres, when it comes to the juniors, tend to dominate these competitions for the most part. It's not always the case. It's a generalisation for sure. But this year has been a bit of a struggle for your juniors, particularly for numbers, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it depends on sort of who's coming through, I suppose. You have ups and downs, I guess, with big breeding seasons and then lower ones, and it does make a difference in local communities, particularly when it's sporting families coming through. Yep. This year, Wedderburn has definitely struggled with numbers. They've done well with, they've had awesome support from other clubs. For example, the 16Bs, we didn't field a 16As this year, but a 16B team there. And each week it was well supported by the other team who would field in a few girls each so they could have a game. So I think that's pretty awesome about local netball, and that we have been able to do that and provide an opportunity for the girls, even if it's not playing with 7 Wedderburn girls out there each week.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's brilliant. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about making sure the girls have a game. That's the most important thing. So, and the numbers in juniors can ebb and flow. There's plenty of factors at play when it comes to junior numbers. Your 13 and under team, though, is had a pretty good season. I think it's had 4 wins for the year. It's missed out on the finals, but clearly you've managed to put a team on the park each week, and they've been competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And how good's that? Brooke Walker's done the 13s, and she's done a really great job with a young crew there. And they get out there, they have a lot of fun. It's all about enjoying your trainings, getting out there on a Saturday, being active, and isn't it awesome for kids to be able to do that?
The Wedderburn Netball Club, pretty well placed heading into finals time in the seniors, as we mentioned, top 2 in all of those grades. The juniors, of course, if you've got a youngster and you're in that area who wants a game, then get them to Wedderburn next year. And fingers crossed you guys get to actually have a final series. It'd be terrible misfortune and bad luck for everybody in North Central if it wasn't the case. But I guess we're at the mercy of committees and governments at the moment and those decisions being made. I know your club's position on this is to play if possible. Meg, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to keep positive and I guess keep a bit of hope. Let's have something to look forward to. Let's have something to keep training for, being active. I think it just helps our motivation overall if we can think we've got a bit of an end goal that we might get a chance to play and play the best part of the season, which is what finals is. So we're not going to say no. We just hope that there's an opportunity that comes up and we can play. I guess what we all play for and sign up at the start of the year is to get to finals and give that premiership a crack. That's
where we'll leave it today, Meg. Great chatting with you. All the best to you and your friends there and the rest of the club at Wedderburn for the remainder of the season. Fingers crossed you get back out on the court. And we'll catch up with you again soon here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.